Welcome to Stamford, Connecticut, WWE Headquarters, Titan Towers right behind me. I'm going to try my best to get a word with anyone, and I mean anyone, who's involved in the 2020 Money in the Bank ladder matches, both men's and women's. Anyone who we can get in touch with. I'm going to try to make my way to the roof of Titan Towers, and who knows, maybe I can grab the Money in the Bank briefcase myself. Let's go. All right, Angle fans, just checking in. I am literally right here behind me, the Stamford, Connecticut, WWE Titan Towers headquarters door. We're about to walk into the lobby right now, ground floor, level 1. Like I said, I'm going to make my way up to the roof and hopefully get my hands on the Money in the Bank briefcase. But I know there's going to be some obstacles along the way. We're going to pass meetings. I know there's going to be other superstars, so let's do our best. Stay with me, and we're going to make our way to the roof. Let's go. Behind me, I see Triple H in a meeting. I think he's signing a new WWE superstar. It looks like Shinsuke Nakamura, to be honest with me. He might be signing a new contract. I don't know, but we're going to keep making our way up to the roof of Titan Towers. All right, guys, I am on the roof of WWE Titan Towers headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut. It was easier than I actually thought. I didn't run into anybody, but standing behind me is the Money in the Bank briefcase. I see it hanging above us, and I'm going to try to get my hands. Actually, no, I think I found one. I got a ladder. I'm going to make my way up. Hopefully I can grab that briefcase with nobody noticing that it's me. Let's do this. Alright, I think I'm good for now. Whew. What's up, Angle fans? It's your host, Joey Karni, and welcome to the Angles Live Money in the Bank pre-show. Tonight we're going to be going over every match on the card, giving fan predictions, talking about everything that's going down tonight at the Money in the Bank show. I'm going to be Skyping in some friends. They're going to be giving their predictions. Basically just talking about everything that's going down tonight and really who we think is going to walk away the big winners tonight at WWE Money in the Bank. Like I said, we're going to be Skyping in friends. You can hang out with us on Twitter. Tweet us at The Angle Radio on Twitter. We'll be live tweeting the entire show. But you can also tweet us during the show too, and we'll read your tweet on this show live. It's going to be a fun time. I'm going to be up here as long as I possibly can, trying to get this briefcase by trying to do the show at the same time, hopefully succeeding at the end, grabbing the briefcase, and doing a good job at this show. So we're going to continue right now. We're going to Skype with some friends, Curtis and Jared. Curtis in Georgia, Jared in Florida. They were on our WrestleMania pre-show, gave some really, really good insight into the matches. We're going to do that again tonight, right now. So we're going to head to Curtis and Jared, and I'm going to try to stay up here as long as I possibly can without being noticed. Let's go. What's up, Angle fans? I'm here with Jared and Curtis. We're going to be going over the whole card for Money in the Bank. It should be fun. They were here for the WrestleMania pre-show, and they gave some great insight. So they're back to do the next event, Money in the Bank. Welcome, guys. How is everybody doing?
The best you can possibly do.
Yeah. Hope everybody's safe during these crazy times.
Sure, yeah.
Crickets? Okay. First match I want to discuss is the SmackDown Women's Championship. It's going to be the champion Bayley defending against Tamina. What do you guys think about that match?
Is it possible that Bayley's going to lose? I doubt it.
Not now, right? She can't lose now, can she? Like, that just doesn't flow with any kind of a storyline unless, like, you're going to let Tamina feud with, like, Lacey Evans and then let Bayley and Banks feud without a belt.
Well, she beat Banks to get in this match, and she beat her clean. She just super kicked her head off and earned the match. The whole storyline was, if you can beat Banks, you can face me. And she beat her.
I mean, does maybe Banks help her win, and then, like, at the end of it, Banks just turns on her saying, like, you're not shit without me?
My thought is Banks is going to help Bayley because they've been kind of butting heads lately. So I think what's going to happen is Banks is going to help Bayley win and make everybody think that everything's cool, and then eventually it's going to turn towards SummerSlam, like we.
I mean, but with everything going on right now, like, do they really need to worry about, like, a turn? Like, that stuff is better built, like, when there's someone to react to it.
My dogs. I think they're eventually going to need to do it sooner or later, just because. How long are the fans going to wait for this turn? They're going to get bored of waiting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're going to wait, like a year and a half before we see Roman Reigns back in the ring. So
look how long we've already waited for this story. I mean, for Banks and Bayley just to get this close. I mean, it's been since Their NXT match.
Yeah, it's been several years.
Yeah.
You're just like
Well-
everyone's just waiting. Well, finally, are they gonna pull the trigger and let her just stab her in the back like everyone's
This-
been waiting for?
Exactly.
This is the same company that literally let Reigns and Corbin feud for over a year for no reason at all, other than there was a reason. So like, they'll do whatever the hell they want. Like they've shown that Vince McMahon doesn't care.
We talked
He'll
about
let this thing ride.
We talked about this on the my WrestleMania pre-show. Like Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins went from like October and they had their match at WrestleMania. Like,
Yeah.
it's too long.
And then Rollins loses, and then somehow gets the title shot. I still don't get that.
I don't understand it. We'll get to that match,
Math.
but I think honestly,
Notch booking.
yeah, Bosch broken. I think that this match is just going to be Bailey. Bailey's going to retain. They're just trying to get her to beat everyone on the roster so she can lose to Sasha. I think that's my.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It makes Banks look like the only one who can beat her or whatever. I don't know. Like I said,
Also,
like the
see
women.
Tamina holding a belt.
I mean, I would
Like,
love
maybe
to
the
see it
tag
one
titles.
day. I would love to see it at least once. But this is
The
just their
tag
way of
titles.
utilizing the talent they have right now with what's going on.
And maybe it has nothing to do with it, but like if you watch Vice and you watch The Dark Side of the Ring, they just had the Jimmy Snuka episode not too long ago. It didn't look good for Snuka, and Tamina is, for better or worse, associated with him.
Yep.
So I feel like now may not be the time. It's like,
I mean, they're pushing her more than ever right now. So
well, yeah, but I think now it's just because she's someone there. Like, there's, if you think about it, like, a lot of wrestlers aren't around because of health concerns or because they have families or whatever it may be.
so they're just
So
utilizing.
they're using whoever's on site.
Exactly.
You know,
that was my initial
Tamina's a
thought.
body on hand. They could book her however. She's a big woman. She could be the monster. You know.
All right. So who's your guys' pick for this match?
Bailey.
I'll go Bailey.
Bailey, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, right now, there isn't any. There's no word of Becky defending the title. I don't know if she's going to. She probably won't because she's not even featured on the poster. But that's, I mean, as of now, they only have that match listed, the women's championship match listed, and then the women's ladder match. That's kind of when I want to go next. The women's Money in the Bank ladder match, we have Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax, and Asuka from Raw. And on SmackDown, we have Dana Brooke, Lacey Evans. And on SmackDown tonight, we're actually going to see the last one, which I believe is Mandy Rose versus Carmella, I think it is.
Yeah, I think I saw something about that.
Like, this to me is like, I kind of feel like Nia's going to get it.
I feel like the best way to go is you let Nia and Shayna Baszler take each other out. They're the two monsters on the brand.
Two monster powerhouses in that match.
And
They take each other out.
They really don't need the case either, I don't think. Like,
Yeah.
it'd be weird for them having the case. I feel it just doesn't seem like those two would.
I mean, if you were leave it up to me to book, I would say Mandy Rose goes over Carmella, and what they've been doing with Mandy Rose, have Mandy Rose win the whole thing. And then she feuds with Sonya, and then Sonya beats her and takes it, and Sonya's got the case.
But I mean, like, a common sense theory here is why would you put something like that on the line against somebody I hate when they do that kind of thing. They have, and it's pointless unless they usually do that when they need to get the briefcase of somebody for other reasons, whether it be a drug test or they have other things going on or whatever it is.
Well, I think the biggest one they had was when Mr. Kennedy won the case. He got injured, and then Edge beat him for it, and then Edge cashed in on Undertaker.
Because Kennedy couldn't wrestle. He wasn't going to be around.
Yeah, he was injured.
Like, what's the point of having the match if you're going to give it to Sonya anyway? Why not just put Sonya in the match, let her win and make her look strong?
Yeah, unless she cost the Mandy the match.
Which I think will be more likely to happen. I really think, Lacey holding it is weird because you don't really want to face holding a briefcase. It doesn't seem to do well.
She's lost title matches so many times already. Like they've kind of.
Hasn't usually the heel won most of the Money at Banks?
Yeah, the heel. Well, the heel's always better served to have it because it's supposed to be.
Backstabbing. Cash in.
I mean, I could see Asuka winning it, but
are they
how many?
In singles?
I don't
Unless
know.
they give it to Asuka, then Asuka goes back to NXT and challenges Charlotte Flair. Takes it from Charlotte.
Well, is
Revenge
that
was
even an
also
option? We don't even know if that's an option if they can take that briefcase and cash it in NXT. That's
I
something
would
they
think
haven't
it's
said anything about.
Isn't it just any title?
I would assume because Charlotte won the money. I mean, she won the Royal Rumble, and
Yeah, and she was allowed to challenge Rhea
Yeah.
Ripley.
That would be
So
actually pretty good, like Asuka winning and she wants revenge for losing to Charlotte, breaking her streak.
she takes it from Charlotte SummerSlam weekend or something like that.
yeah.
Dude, that'd be pretty good.
You know, you do an
Unless
NXT
they give
event.
it to Dana
I feel like
Brooke, which would be a
that would
shock.
That would be weird. I think that'd be the best
So
possible like angle to do. Like Asuka wins it. just
Well,
with
did
a
you
straight
expect
shot.
Carmella to win it when she did?
no, but here's my
No,
thing.
but the
Look
way
at the
If you
push
look
she
at
got.
in this match, you
well,
have
the way she
arguably
won it is why it got a lot of
James
heat.
Ellsworth.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, there was a reason for her to win it because there was somebody there to kind of build the heat. You know, Dana Brooke, she's gotten better in the ring, but like between her and Nia Jax, like I watch their matches and I'm scared a lot of times.
Like,
Yeah.
You're watching and you're going, please nobody get injured.
Seriously.
Please.
Honestly,
Yeah,
It's
no.
awkward sometimes.
based upon how they're booking, I want Shayna to win just because I want to see Shayna beat Becky.
Well, and that'd be the best of her to do because she could exploit Becky at her weakest point.
Exactly.
Nia Jax can take out Becky Lynch.
Yeah, but
Shayna comes
that
out,
Shayna's
cashes.
character, though? Shayna's character.
Shayna doesn't care. Shayna doesn't care. She doesn't have any moral compass.
I know. For me, this one is up in the air. I don't really have a choice who I think is gonna win.
I kind of like the Asuka angle, like just avenging the loss to.
Yeah, but how long are they gonna run with the Asuka thing that she's like at the top? You know what I mean? And then she loses.
Well, they sent her back to NXT. Shit.
They're not gonna put her in NXT when Charlotte's there.
No, but I'm saying if she takes a belt from Charlotte,
Oh, absolutely. That would be amazing.
all she has to do is show up at some kind of an event where Charlotte like take over Brooklyn 17 or whatever.
That's putting another strong, top competitor for the women on NXT because there's not that many in the upper category.
Well, NXT has the deepest women's division of any show.
I agree.
Yeah, but
I think it. Well, no, but the thing is, you see them as mid card. You see them as mid card compared to the main roster, but like, who would you rather have, Candice LeRae or Sonya Deville? Like, Candice LeRae has a better.
Yeah, but
Especially now with this whole she turned heel over the last few
her
weeks.
Gargano, man, that's beautiful.
It's awesome. They're calling her like the Pixie Poison now. Like her hair's purple. She looks like a badass.
Who would have thought that he'd come out the heel and Ciampa would be the face, and Candice LeRae would be okay with it?
I thought a while ago if they kept him in NXT for that long as they have, they would eventually do the switch like a Triple H and Shawn Michaels thing that they never did.
Yeah,
he was always the heel, and
I don't know. I think that the best storyline would be Asuka winning, cashing in a takeover event randomly. She just shows up after a hard-fought match, just comes out there with the briefcase, and says, "I'm taking your belt," and she wins it back. And then they feud for like a couple episodes or whatever, and then Charlotte goes back to the main roster because Charlotte really isn't meant to be on NXT, whereas Asuka is someone who's been in wrestling for so long.
Yeah,
she's okay with just being in NXT. Like she didn't really. She's someone who doesn't need.
Besides
like
tagging with Kairi Sane, I'm pretty sure she would probably rather be in NXT. Like
I think they both, her and Kairi Sane both wanted to go back to NXT.
Well, because they basically came here just to kind of like, if you look like Shinsuke Nakamura, like that, they wrestled overseas. And like in Japan, like the style's so hard, it's so hard hitting, it's so tedious that when you come to America, NXT season was the perfect spot because it lets you just wrestle.
Yeah.
They get to their technical aspects. It was not made big bumps, things like that. She could be in NXT where like, give me Io Shirai versus Asuka. I wouldn't understand a word any of them are saying, but it'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, so for final predictions for this match, who are you guys going with?
I like the Asuka pick, man. I think it seems more legit of a contender that could take the briefcase and do something with it versus like the other ones. Like Curtis said, I think like Shayna and Nia are just gonna like somehow just completely take each other out.
Yeah. Well, I feel like everyone's gonna like
above.
Everyone's gonna team together and take them out somehow.
I think they're like kind of above needing the briefcase to to where Asuka winning would be a pretty big boost for her. And I think like her going to Charlotte Flair in NXT and doing that, I think it'd be really good. I think it'd be a lot better than whoever else is winning. Like, because Shayna doesn't need it to go fight Becky again. I don't think.
I'm gonna go with the black horse in this one. I'm gonna go with Dana Brooke.
Really? You think so? Just random?
She's got the most to gain out of this.
That's interesting.
Everyone's had his opportunities already. She's the only one who hasn't.
I'm gonna go with.
And if they're utilizing talent right now, they're gonna do something with Brooke.
After watching last year's thing with Braun Strowman winning the whole thing and all that, I think against my better judgment, Nia Jackson ended up winning this thing. For better or worse, I think they brought it back. All right, we'll put the briefcase on you, and it sets a way up where Baszler and Jackson feud over the title, and Becky can go back to chasing the belt like she's best at. I don't want it to happen, but I feel like that's the direction they're going in because they seem to just go in whatever direction pisses me off the most.
So you're going with Nia?
Yeah.
All right, so we got Nia, we got Asuka, and we got Dana. Okay. The next match I want to talk about is for the Universal Championship. It's Braun Strowman versus Bray Wyatt, but it's Bray Wyatt, the Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt. It's not the Fiend Bray Wyatt. What do you guys think on this one?
I think Strowman goes over here, but I think it's going to be a weird finish. That would piss off a live crowd. Yep. I think you're gonna see Strowman go do something or whatever, and it's gonna push Bray Wyatt into the Fiend, and then all this shit's gonna change. Maybe the Fiend comes out at the end of the match after the bell's rung and he attacks Braun. I don't know, but the whole thing is that the Fiend is supposed to be the stronger character. So if you have Bray Wyatt winning this thing over Strowman, you're basically saying that nobody can beat either character, and it kind of lowers the Fiend in his aura and his powers, whatever the hell they are.
I think maybe this match goes like a DQ or something like pisses people off, and then we see a rematch like at SummerSlam or something with the Fiend versus Braun.
Well, there was a report that the next two belt holders are the Fiend and then Roman Reigns. So I think if you're waiting for Roman to come back when this whole thing passes, he's in a better position where his health won't be at risk. You let this feud play out for a little bit.
Yeah, let it go until SummerSlam, and then I don't know. But I'm going. I think that it's going to be a DQ that Braun retains somehow.
Yeah,
I can't see him pinning Bray. It's too fast. Yeah.
Yeah, like he just got it celebrating, and it's not the Fiend.
No, it's the Funhouse.
Yeah, I'm saying it's not the Fiend, so I don't know why he would lose to not the Fiend. Like that just.
Then you have to think
Bray Wyatt
Fiend already lost already, so it's not like the Fiend is undefeated. He's lost already.
Yeah, it's just weird that he would.
Yeah, but I think that having Bray Wyatt is the way to protect the Fiend character while also continuing a storyline and letting Braun, one way or another, retaining the belt some way. Somehow. Maybe Bray Wyatt gets disqualified. Who knows?
Yeah, something like that. He gets disqualified because he thinks he's going to lose, and then he ends up disappearing, and then the Fiend's at the thing. And
well, here's my thing. If he changes character mid-match, is that a DQ?
Technically not.
Is that interference? Because technically it's
still Bray Wyatt, though.
If Mankind had a match and then he disappeared and Cactus Jack came out and attacked somebody, technically Cactus Jack's on the match.
I mean, technically all three of those characters were individual numbers in the Royal Rumble, so I guess you're right.
I mean, that's just...
All right, so I think we're all in agreement here. It's going to be wrong somehow.
Sure.
Yeah? Cool.
Yeah.
All right, the WWE Championship match. The match that I'm actually looking most forward to, Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. I don't know if you guys saw the promo this past Monday, the contract signing. I watched it. Best segment I've seen on a Raw, I think, since, I don't know, the last couple of years. It was awesome. Go watch it if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. And I think Seth Rollins I think McIntyre retains.
Oh, absolutely.
But I think that it protects Seth Rollins. I think maybe Murphy just gets involved. Someone gets involved or something. Yeah. Something happens. And this is one of those shows that I feel like it's going to be a lot of, like, BS finishes that we're just going to be like, what are we watching?
Well, we're not really seeing AOP involved. Well, mainly because one is injured. But
one's injured and the other one's off. They said, "Don't worry about it. Stay home."
Yeah. So what I think they're gonna do. They also said that the disciple thing, the whole group with Seth Rollins was temporary. It wasn't long term. So maybe we see like by accident Buddy Murphy cost Seth, and then we see Buddy turn face and feud with Seth for a while to build up Buddy.
Seth doesn't need a belt right now. And honestly, like, what's the point of giving it to Drew, giving him his moment, his belt, and then just taking it away so he can chase it again? Like, it's not worth it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, here's the thing. Drew McIntyre is not Daniel Bryan, where Daniel Bryan wins it at SummerSlam, then they screw him over, Orton catches in, and he's like feud another 6 months into WrestleMania. Like, there's no point in that here. There's no payoff for McIntyre. McIntyre slayed everybody in his way. Let him run with the belt.
I think all the matches on this card, they're pretty self-explanatory. Like it's a filler pay-per-view.
Yeah.
The cool concept of making the money the briefcase match on the roof, which I think is cool. But
yeah, until someone falls.
Well, they have it surrounded by trees apparently. No, but I'm picking Drew on this one. This
Yeah. It should be hopefully a really, really good and entertaining.
I think it's probably gonna be the match of the night.
Seth wins.
Most likely, yeah.
Seth
by
wins?
DQ.
Okay.
Seth wins by DQ.
Okay.
I think that what's going to happen is Murphy's going to get involved and accidentally hit Seth.
Yep.
And it's going to cause a DQ.
Yep.
And Drew's going to claim more Buddy. Seth's going to stop Buddy Murphy, whatever the hell his name is now.
Murph, Disciple, Buddy Murphy, Buddy.
By the
Murphy,
time it airs, it's gonna be Murph.
yeah.
M.
Just M.
Yeah. Soon it's gonna be like
Lowercase
guy.
M.
He'll be Bond's handler, man. He'll be the next Bond handler in the next 007 series. M.
I definitely think that it's gonna be that Murphy's gonna get involved somehow, but I think he's gonna by accident cost because he's gonna cost Seth and Drew's gonna retain.
Yeah. In reality, he's probably gonna end up causing a distraction or something. He's gonna trip some step accident. Claymore kick, he's gonna end, and then Murphy's gonna try to apologize. So McIntyre's gonna win, I think. I just wanted to say Seth just to be different because
you got Seth, I got McIntyre. Who do you got, Jared?
McIntyre. Unless Seth wins by DQ, there's no way he's losing the belt this early.
Yeah.
No, he's not losing the belt. McIntyre's walking out with the belt. That's a guarantee.
Yeah, that'd be weird. Like, what kind of booking are they doing at these times that he gets this big moment and then just loses it like not that long after?
All right, cool. All right, so that was kind of easy. The last match on the card thus far, the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. So far, we have Aleister Black, Daniel Bryan, Rey Mysterio, Baron Corbin. Apollo Crews was in the match. Apparently, he is injured. He is being replaced. They're having a last chance thing on Raw for someone to replace him. And on SmackDown tonight, we're going to see Otis versus Ziggler for the winner of that match to go in. Me personally, I think it's going to be Ziggler. Ziggler's going to go into this match.
Ziggler makes more sense probably for the match.
Yeah, I mean Otis is in a tag team. The more you pull him away from that tag team, it's like just it doesn't make sense.
Honestly, he should be out of the tag team. Like,
Yeah, but SmackDown needs tag teams, and they're just like a really over team. I don't know, but we're in agreement that it's going to be Ziggler going into that match.
Otis, though.
Yeah,
over because of Otis, not because of Tucker.
But no, we're in agreement that Ziggler is going into this match over Otis, right?
I think Ziggler is going to go into the match.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
All right, and then there's a last chance thing on Raw for to replace Apollo. Me personally, it might be Kevin Owens. Who else? I don't know. Out of the
Can
names,
Owens even fight in the match on SmackDown?
No, it's gonna the one spot that's left is gonna be from the Raw side to replace Apollo.
Oh, okay. I don't even know when this event is, so I'm sorry. I'm assuming
Money in the Bank is next weekend.
May 10th.
May 10th.
There we go, May 10th. It's a good day.
So it's gonna be a Raw guy. But from the list right now that we have, Corbin, Mysterio, Daniel Bryan, Aleister Black, either or Otis or Ziggler. Like for me personally, I think out of that list, Aleister Black or Baron Corbin. But if you put another guy in like Kevin Owens, that's my pick.
See, here's Aleister Black doesn't need a money. Aleister Black has this aura about him where it's almost pointless to give him a Money in the Bank briefcase. Like, if he wants to fight you for the belt, he's just going to say, I'm fighting you for the belt. Like, that's his mentality. That's his character. Like, a Money in the Bank briefcase is nothing for him.
Yeah.
Baron Corbin, is the most underrated heel, I think, currently running. Like, the man is over as a heel.
Yeah.
Corbin's got to avenge
His
last
failed
time
attempts.
Yeah.
Well, we know John Cena's not going to come out and ruin it, so, that's a good sign. I don't know. I think
With the
Corbin
golden
would be the
shovel
way
and
to go.
buried.
Although Ziggler would be fun, too. You could give Ziggler one last run with, like, a belt for, like, a short term or whatever.
No, I'm okay. I'm okay with that. I either want to see Kevin Owens somehow get in there and win it. If it's not him, my pick is Aleister Black. Can't see Daniel Bryan winning it. Can't see Mysterio winning it. Can't see Ziggler or Otis winning it. Those guys are there to make that match more interesting.
Well, I mean, Bryan said he's kind of done being a full-time wrestler. Mysterio's not really full-time anymore. Like,
Exactly.
Mysterio would be fun, but, like,
Mysterio's there just to make the crazy the moves and stuff. Same thing with
like,
Ziggler.
well, here's the thing. You look at, like, the way that the title pictures run, like, they're big guys. Like, it's hard to put the belt, put a briefcase. Although then again, Bryan cashed in against the Big Show in the middle of a Mark Henry feud.
The
So
thing is, like, you look at all the guys in the match, and then you look at who's the champions. You're kind of like, who's gonna win it to fight somebody? You know what I'm saying?
see, that's why I feel like a guy like Corbin winning it, though, because Corbin would be the most likely to resort to some kind of, devious plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look who could be champion that Corbin can cash in on. Braun Strowman. Drew. I doubt he'll go to Raw. He'll keep it on SmackDown.
Yeah.
The Fiend.
Or then, like, say Kevin Owens wins it, who's he?
Because he's the face. He's probably arguably the top face right now running in a lot of ways.
Who? It's between Owens and McIntyre. Between Owens and McIntyre, I would say.
But my thing is this: why not give it to Corbin? He sits on it because the plan is ultimately to give it to Roman Reigns, right?
Yeah.
At some point, you give Roman Reigns. There's already animosity. There's already history there. That, to me, would make the most sense just to give fans a reason to hate Baron Corbin more in a way that kind of maybe push fans more behind Roman Reigns.
Well, what I've realized, though, that what they do with this, especially with the men's Money in the Bank, whoever they decide is going to win, towards the build-up to the pay-per-view, they kind of, like, kill that character a little bit. Like, he's, like, less involved in like, main events. Like, just like what they're doing with Baron Corbin. Like, he's been, like, on the lower card, losing stuff.
Yeah.
It'd be like, bam, he's back up there. Yeah, I think
it makes the most sense.
Yeah, Corbin.
I think they need to put.
Can always win it.
Yeah.
I think Baron
will come out and talk about it and wave in everybody's face and
just flaunt it. Hey, I win again. Like,
yeah. And then use the briefcase to cheat and win and stuff like that. And
like the Miz.
Yeah. And then finally, we'll see Baron Corbin hopefully hold the title.
Like, if you think back to, like, the most effective recent Money in the Bank briefcase winners, you have Seth Rollins when he held it for his year. You have, we just spoke about Holy Christ above the Miz and all that. Like, those are guys that were using it in they were always incorporating it to remind people of who they were. And that is what Baron Corbin, I feel like, would be most likely to do.
Well, yeah.
He could drop the King gimmick, maybe go back to, some kind of just ostentatious prick. I don't know. Maybe he uses it to cash in on Gronk for the 24/7 title, opening night in the NFL.
Could be.
Tampa's only a few miles away from Orlando.
Storyline build up at WrestleMania, so. All right, so you got Curtis? Who you going with?
Great use of the
I'll go Corbin.
Money in the Bank contract is getting the 24/7 championship.
Jerry, who you going with?
I think it'd be Corbin. I think he's the one that could use it.
I don't know who's gonna be in the match right now to replace Apollo and stuff like that. So safe bet right now. I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna go Corbin because I think that just makes the most sense.
Of all the people.
Yeah. I originally wanted to see Cesaro go in there instead of Daniel Bryan. I was like, why would they not put Cesaro? Even if he wasn't gonna win, it's a great opportunity for him to shine.
Yeah.
Like Daniel Bryan is not gonna do those crazy spots and he's not gonna win. So what the hell is he there for? To legitimize it because he won before? If you look at like he was in it and he won. If they put Ziggler in, Ziggler was in it and he won. So they like to put like old, like I don't know.
Well, yeah, because they can play up to the fact that they've been here before. They know what it takes.
Exactly. Rey Mysterio lost to someone who Kane cashed in and he lost. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be an interesting one. I don't know.
Oh, so we're all in agreement that it's going to be Corbin.
Yeah. I think
Sure.
it'll be Corbin. He just makes the most sense out of all of them.
Yeah, I think so too. Cool. All right, so we just went over the Money in the Bank show thus far of the matches that have been announced. I want to thank Curtis and Jared for coming on and giving some great insight like they always do. Hopefully they could be on the next pre-show. I don't know what pay-per-view is going to come up next because last year Money in the Bank was like in July. Now it's like in, I don't know. So they're always switching around. So thank you guys for coming on.
That's what we're here for, man.
I want to thank Curtis and Jared for Skyping and once again giving their great insight into pro wrestling as always, especially for tonight's Money in the Bank pay-per-view. It's going to be an exciting one. I'm just excited to see if our predictions are actually going to come true. I don't know, but I still can't believe I've been up here this entire time and no one has even seen me or said anything to me. It's kind of like no one's even here. I don't even know. It's like,
Who the hell do you think you are?
no. I'm sorry, Mr. McMahon. No, don't do that. I'll get down. I'll get down. Don't. No. Oh, thanks, guys. I'll see you next time. No!